Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Automation Testing Insider. So this is part 28 of Selenium Framework Development series from scratch. So we have covered so many topics as part of this framework series, guys, and we have integrated with our framework. So if you haven't watched the previous videos, then I would recommend first go through all the videos previously. So you can go to the playlist and watch previous videos and then come back to this video. So there are a couple of topics which I left with. So one is Selenium Grid and another one is Docker, right? So Docker container. So today we'll focus on Selenium Grid, and in the next video I'll talk about Selenium Docker, like Docker container, right? So let's get started with today's topic. So this is the topic for today. So introduction to Selenium Grid, and I'll show you how can we integrate with our framework and how to execute the script using Selenium Grid. So let's have a look at the agenda for today. So we are going to talk about what is Selenium Grid. We'll talk about why we use Selenium Grid and installation and setup part, and I'll show how can we integrate with our framework, right? So practically I'll show you how to run the script using Selenium Grid as well. So this is what we are going to discuss today, and let's talk about some theoretical stuff. What is Selenium Grid? So Selenium Grid is a component of Selenium that enables parallel testing execution across multiple machines and browsers, correct? So this is one of the components in Selenium suite tools, we have Selenium IDE and Selenium WebDriver. So in the similar way, we have Selenium Grid is one of the components, right? Earlier we had RC as well, like 4 components. So RC was the 4th component, like remote control, which is already outdated, and this Selenium Grid is a component of Selenium that enables parallel test execution across multiple machines. Multiple machines means we can execute our script on different operating systems and across different browsers. We can execute on different browsers as well. It supports distributed testing, so it works on the basis of a server that is called hub, which we are going to discuss in a couple of minutes. So from where we can control all our testing, all our nodes, right? So basically it works as a server that is nothing but and we can execute our script on different machines. So that's why it supports distributed testing, helping reduce overall test execution, since it enables parallel test execution. So it reduces the overall test execution time. Ideal for CI/CD pipelines like continuous integration and continuous deployment, where multiple test cases need to run simultaneously across various environments. Selenium Grid allows you to run your test on different browsers and operating systems simultaneously using a hub node architecture, which we discussed, hub node architecture, right? So it works on the basis of hub node architecture. What is hub? Acts as a central point to control the test execution. So there will be hub, as I have told, like it works as a server which controls our test execution, and there are different, it will connect to different machines. So those machines are nothing but the nodes. Different nodes will set up different nodes, will register all those nodes to this server, this hub. So this is hub, and node the machines where test cases will actually run. It can have different browsers and operating system, correct? So here we can run on a different operating system, here we'll run on different operating system, and here we'll run on different operating system across various browsers, like different browsers. So this is the concept of hub and node in Grid, Selenium Grid. In continuation to what is Selenium Grid, so Selenium Grid is a core component which we already spoken about, right, of the Selenium suite alongside Selenium WebDriver and Selenium IDE. From Selenium 4, Selenium Grid is built in and comes with standalone mode. So we can register hub in a separate machine and a node in a separate machine, in a same machine, standalone mode, like same machine. So when we register together in a single machine, that is nothing but standalone mode. And there is another method, distributed mode, which we discussed, like distributed testing, right? So where we can set up hub at one machine, and we can connect to that hub with different other machines, other nodes separately, right? So that is distributed mode. And there is a docker support as well, so which we are going to discuss in the next video about the docker container, right? So this is about Selenium Grid. And if you ask question like why we use Selenium Grid, so run test in parallel to save time. So since we already have like in TestNG parallel execution, right? But that is we have some limitation over there, right? We cannot execute our script on different operating system, and that will be based on a single machine. Here in Selenium Grid we can execute our test across different machines and browsers. So run test in parallel to save time, test across different operating system browser combinations, useful in remote execution and cloud setups, easily integrate with CI tools like Jenkins, and scales up automation testing infrastructure like Docker container, right, which we are going to discuss in the next video. So these are the different reasons or different things which why we go for Selenium Grid, right? So let me show you guys practically how to integrate Selenium Grid, how to set up Selenium Grid, right? So I have already created a documentation, very good documentation on this Selenium Grid setup, how to do it. I have already installed it, so I'll show you step by step how can you install on your system as well. And since we have already a single system, I'm not connecting to any other system, so I'll show you at like single system how to connect to hub and nodes, and how to run our script across different browsers. Since we have our script is already, if you remember, our script is already support different browsers. So I'll show you how to execute our script in different browsers, right? So this is the complete documentation which I have created, and I'll show you I'll provide the link in the description box of this video so that you can download this document as well. So step 1 says download Selenium Grid. So go to Selenium Grid official website, selenium.dev/downloads. So here I think I have already opened, right? You can see here downloads, and just scroll down. Here you have Selenium server. So we have to download this Selenium server jar files, so that we can run one command and set up our hub, and later on we can run another command to install different nodes, set up different nodes, register to that hub, right? So you can install this Selenium server latest version from here. So basically it contains Selenium WebDriver bindings and Selenium Grid, Selenium manager. So we need to download this Selenium server file, jar file. So here I have already done that Selenium server. So this is the first step, guys. You have to install it, you have to download it, download Selenium server jar files. You can see like this 429, which I have already done, and place it in your local system, preferably C drive, right? C Selenium Grid. So let me open my C drive. Here you can see Selenium Grid folder, right? And here we have jar file, Selenium server jar file. What is the next step? Start the hub. Now how we are going to start the hub? So open command prompt and navigate to your Selenium Grid folder. So you have to navigate to this folder and start command prompt, and you need to just run this command to start the hub, our server. So how to start? Just select this and type cmd, press enter. You'll see command prompt open with this location, right? Selenium Grid inside C drive. So simple command we have java -jar space -jar, and select the Selenium server jar file, space, simply type hub and press enter. So it will start our hub. So it started Selenium hub 4.29.0, and this is the URL, and this is the port, default port we have 4444, correct? So what I'll do, let me go to the document again. So here you can see we have started this, we have started the hub from this command, and then you can see it is sockets created, events was ready, the same thing which we are getting here, right? And it is started our browser, it is started our server. Now if you go to, let me open in, or you can open here as well. So this is the URL we have to start the hub. So you can see this is the view of Selenium Grid, right? So 4.29.0. if you install 31, then it will display here 4.31.0. so the grid has no registered nodes yet. So we have just started the hub. Now we have to start the node as well. So step 3, start the node test machines, where we execute our scripts. Open another CMD window and run the following command. So in the same location, Selenium Grid will start another command prompt. Second, CMD start another command prompt, and here write java-jar, select the Selenium server jar file, and then space node, and then hyphen port, and default port for this is, you can like 5556 you can do, you can start with, or you can use this 5555. Press enter, and then it will register the nodes, different nodes, to the server, to the hub. You can see the sending registration event. It started Selenium node, you can see, right? So let me open this. Still loading. Press enter. It is sending registration event. Yeah, you can see now. No, it's still loading. I don't know why it is taking this much time. Usually it won't take that much time. Let me cancel it. And start the hub again, sorry, node again. I think we have to start the hub again, guys. So it is taking much time, so let me start the hub again. Java-jar, started, hub is started. So we need to connect the nodes. CMD java-jar node port 5555. So let's see, or we'll try 5556. Sockets created, event bus ready, looking for existing driver on the path, and a node has been added. You can see here node has been added. So you can see now it has created different nodes, like 4 nodes, one for Chrome, one for Firefox, another one is Edge internet browser, which is already outdated, and we have Edge. So basically we have, it is, the Selenium Grid is integrated with Selenium Manager as well. So whatever drivers we have in the system, it will create different nodes based on the drivers. So in our system we have Chrome, Firefox and Edge already, so we have, it is showing all these nodes over here already, because we haven't created separately, right? We have just created one command, we have just written one command over here, we have fired one command, and we have created node --port 5556. right? So it creates different nodes over here based on different browsers, whatever is available on the system. Now you can see these numbers 8 over here, so it will run on 8 different it like say I mean different, it will run on 8 different sessions. Similarly browse this one as well, Firefox, at the same time it will run on 8 different sessions at one time and in the single time, right? So this is how we can start our hub and node. And later on, let me go over documentation again. So verify node registration, you can see easily, you can see this screen, right? And after that, modify your framework code. So we need to just modify few places, guys, and here you can see base class, we have to modify the base class. I'll show you where are the changes I made. So that's very simple changes. Like we need to use for this, we have to use a remote driver, right? Because we are going to use execute our test cases on remote machine, correct? So that's why we need to create the object of this remote WebDriver instead of WebDriver, correct? So we have to use this class remote WebDriver. So based on that, I made some changes to the script. So let me show you. It's very easy, like whatever changes I have made. So what I have done in the config.properties, I have defined two variables like Selenium Grid and Grid URL. So this is the hub URL which we have, and the Selenium Grid, we are checking the flag from here. Like if we are running the script on grid, then we need to set it as like true over here, and suppose we want to run it locally, then we have to make it false, and based on that it will get the values over here. Like you can see prop.get property from the properties file Selenium Grid, true or false, and then we'll convert into boolean, because that is the string, right? So we convert into boolean, and this is for URL. So you can see I have written one if condition over here. If Selenium Grid, if true or false, if it is true like Selenium Grid, then we'll execute this script on Selenium Grid. So equal ignore case Chrome. So we have passed one parameter as well, Chrome string browser, right? Browser parameter we are passing over here, and then we have created the object of Chrome options, and we have added different arguments like headless mode we are running on grid, and then driver.set remote WebDriver, correct? And we are passing the grid URL, and we are sending these options like headless mode and window size and all different arguments, right? Different options. So you can see like we need to launch the browser like this, driver.set, and similarly for other drivers, other browsers as well, like Firefox and Edge. And so this part I have written this if condition, and if you set the value as false over here, then it will execute the previously what we have written as part of our framework, how we have written, right? Simple like Chrome options we have written in headless mode. These are all we have added later on in our script, and you can see how to execute it, right? If you want to execute on Chrome browser, so simply we have set this Chrome driver over here, right? So this is what we have earlier done. Now what changes I have made, I have just added this upper part, like this part I have added as part of this Selenium Grid. So it's very simple code changes which I made in our base class. So similarly, which I have added couple of parameters over here, Selenium Grid is equal to true and Selenium Grid URL, which we are reading it from base class, right? And TestNG XML, I have just created different test, because we are running parallel is equal to test, and here you can see test. This is for Chrome, and I have created another test for Edge, correct? And one more changes I made, guys. You can see here we have earlier we used to read the browser from config.properties, right? Here you can see, so there is no use of it, this one. Instead of that, we are reading the browser from testng.xml parameter only. So here you can see parameter we are sending the value we are sending Chrome, correct? And parameter name browser. So this is the parameter tag which we have added in the testng.xml. and here what we'll do in our this method, setup method which we are passing string browser. So here we are just passing this browser over here, and we have to add this annotation. Just remember, in before method we have to add this annotation parameters browser. So these are the simple changes which I made to the script. So like I think everything is done. So you can see config properties true, and let me run it whether it is working fine or not on grid. So what we'll do, simply I'll right click and run as TestNG suite, and you can see it will run the script on grid environment. So you can see remote WebDriver instance created for grid in headless mode. And if I show you this grid UI, so you can see sessions, you can see 3 sessions are created at a time, right? And here you can see 3 of 8 concurrent session we can start. So you can see now one session, one case is executing right now. So it will change based on how many test cases are running in parallel mode. So this is how it looks in the grid, and here you can see it is executing all the test cases step by step, like one by one, sorry, in parallel mode, right? And you can see here after you saw some message, right? And then it started Firefox browser as well. So now you can see all the test cases, 7 passes, and here you can see now no running or queued session at the moment, because all the test cases are already executed. Correct. So this is how you can execute your script on grid, right? Grid environment. Now what we'll do, we'll check whether our script is working perfectly fine or not. So what I'll do, I'll mention the flag over here, false. Selenium grid is equal to false, and let's see whether we are able to run locally or not. So right click on the testng.xml file, run as TestNG suite. Now this time nothing will happen on this Selenium grid, it will be open as it is, and yeah, no running or queued session at the moment. And here you can see we are running the script locally. So this is how you can do, guys, and I have made the changes to 3 places. One is base class and config.properties and testng.xml, and I haven't pushed the changes to the GitHub, so I'll push the changes. Last time I have created the pipeline job, right? So at that time I pushed the changes. Now today you can see all the test cases are running locally. So what I'll do, I'll push all the changes to GitHub so that you can, I have already copied the code here as well in this document, the document which I have created, but I'll push the changes to the GitHub repository as well so that you can easily access all the code base from there. You can see testng.xml, and yeah, so since we are running in a single machine, we have set up hub and node in the single machine. You can run test on another machine as well. So just follow the steps here. We need to just give the IP address of hub machine, and you can set up like this. So if port 5555 is not working, then you can run it on 5556 or 5557 as well. So you can see total test 7 runs, passes 7, failure 0, right? And nothing happened on this Selenium grid cycle because we run it locally. So let me change this to true for now. Correct. So it will run, or let me make it false only. Later on, what we'll do in the next session, we'll talk about the Docker, how we are going to create different containers, right? And we'll execute like for one browser we'll create one container, and so on for other browsers, and we'll execute our script from Docker. Correct. And later on we'll integrate with Jenkins as well. We'll create Jenkins file to start Docker containers automatically. So that is what we are going to discuss in coming videos. So for now I think we are good to go ahead with this grid. So let me just push the changes. Git status, you can see 3 files where I made the changes, like base class, config.properties, and testng.xml. So git add dot, it will add the file, and git commit -m, add the message like grid integrated grid logic, git push origin main branch, right? Let me refresh it, so the code will be available now. Integrated grid logic, you can see here. So just now I have pushed the changes. So this is how you can start grid, guys, for your framework. You can run your script on grid. So this is all for today. So in the next video we'll talk about Selenium Grid with Docker, how to set up Selenium Grid with Docker containers. So this is all for today, and let me know if you have any other questions related to grid. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.